everybody, this is Julissa. Thank you so much everybody for coming back to my channel. Thank you so much for listening in the podcast. Today's Tuesday, April 23rd, 2024. I'm here to do a follow-up video regarding the sudden death of Mandisa. It has taken a lot of people by surprise. It took me by surprise when I came here last Friday the 19th to tell you about her sudden passing. And she actually died on April 18th, that Thursday. This past Thursday, she was found in her home. And the reason that I wanted to come here and give you an update, because I probably have said a lot of things in the video telling you the news about her death. And right now the police, after the investigation, they're saying they're continuing to investigate, but as of right now they say no foul play, have been connected to her passing. No indication of any crime, nothing like that. So we know what she had gone through for the past few years. She was very open to say that she had battled with depression. And the reason why I wanted to come here and give you an update, because there's people right now who are dealing with depression. Depression is this very serious thing, and we don't want to, I guess, we don't want her death to somehow connect to people in the sense of might be led to do the same. Right now they're saying none of the suspicion probably that I had back on Friday when I came here and told you that about her passing. But here's the thing though, I know there's a lot of people dealing with depression. It's so sad. Like I said, I'm going to repeat myself here because it's very important for you to know that no negative thoughts about your life or anything regarding you come from the Lord, right? Any negative thoughts, and I said, it might come in the form of a person. There's a lot of people right now being used by the enemy to ruin somebody's life, to say negative things, right? Let me tell you, any negative thoughts about you, your appearance, anything, or where you are in life, anything like that, it doesn't come from the Lord. God loves you so much, okay? There are people who are being used by the enemy. It's so crazy because people walk around thinking that nobody owns a mirror. Like everybody owns a mirror or have access to a mirror. There's nothing about an adult person that you can come up to them and say about their appearance that they have not noticed on their own, okay? So we need to be so careful with the tongue, right? We're so quick to just say and assume this is what people need immediately, right? There's a pridefulness about opinions right now. Everybody has a platform. Everybody can jump and say things, but it crosses the line when you don't even know the person that well, but you're walking around telling people what they should be doing, where they should be at. And you need to be careful, because all of that, God is gonna hold you accountable. And you don't know what people are dealing with. And who are you to even, you haven't seen Jesus physically, so who are you to even say you should do something about, your hair, the way you look and things like that. You need to be careful. And a lot of the times, I think in the Christian community, it's just the minute people say something about your hair, thinking that you don't own a mirror or nothing like that. And if you don't receive that, then, you don't take correction. They immediately want to throw Bible verse at you instead of themselves getting a mirror and having a heart check, right? Because there's a lot of pride when you are walking around telling people stuff about their appearance or whatever, right? There is a pridefulness that you're trying to get. There's some type of I guess you can say some type of satisfaction that some people try to get when they feel so compelled to just randomly just tell people things that they should be changing about their life without even knowing them, right? There's a pride, the spirit of pridefulness, and we need to be careful how we communicate with others. There are people struggling. I was watching an interview regarding Mandisa, maybe in 2000, I don't know, maybe 2021. She did a radio interview, and the person interviewing her saying, I cannot believe that you dealt with depression. They said to her, they say, I cannot believe that you dealt with depression because all of your music is about inspiring people. You're an overcomer. Everybody bleeds the same. It's a good morning. Like I told you in my previous video, when I heard that, every time, I'm like, man, I need to change the mood of the day or something. Like, let me put on worship music. Let me put off music. And I will put, like, It's a Good Morning by Mandisa and Toby Mac, and it will just change the entire day. I was dealing with something back in 2018 when my mom really got sick. We learned that she was dealing with dementia and just struggling with that, which is huge, right? To deal with something like that. Not, so I know everybody talks about so many things and goals in life and things like that. When your parent gets sick, everything changes, and it's so crazy how not a lot of people talk about that. Like, what you want to do when you grow up? What you going to do? You're going to have this and the other. So your life is basically going to crumble down the minute one of your parents is sick, right? Regardless, like, your age, right? It's so crazy. So I remember dealing with all of that in 2018 and coming to the studio when I had my studio and having fashion show schedule and having deadlines and being featured in the newspaper and things like that. And I'm like, I don't know how I'm gonna deal with this. Like, I have a war basically going on in my house right now, but I have all these deadlines and I have so many things going for my business and my fashion career, and I also had a day job. And it's like, wow, this is so crazy. And I remember, I'm like, let me just do this collection, right? Let me just deal with this collection because the deadline is approaching. I will put that song, Stronger by Mandisa, and I will put it on repeat, just repeating. And there is a song that I used to also like, how songs that you play over and over, they reminds you of a year in your life. I remember Stronger, and I remember playing a lot Good News by Mandisa, and just because I'm like, I'm tired of bad news. Like, this 2018 was busy for my business, but at home it was chaotic. And I was like, I just want to hear good news, and I will play that song Good News by Mandisa. So the person in the radio said to her, I can never think that you were dealing with depression because all of your music is so inspiring and all of that. And she was like, even smiling and talking, she was like, really? Yeah. And you guys probably have seen that interview that she did. And it's like, yeah, and she had it really bad to the point that her friends did an intervention on her because of they went to see her. She wouldn't let people in her house, and they noticed that it was very negative what she was coming out of her mouth. And you will think, this is why you have to go deeper than, hey, how are you? You have to go, if you really care for somebody, go beyond the, hey, how's everything? And that's why you need to be careful what you tell people, right? You don't know what people are dealing with. Before you tell people about their appearance, how about you say, hey, anything you need me to pray for? What's going on? How's your family? How are things? I think that's the best approach as a compassionate Christian person. And Mandisa, always uplifting, always being so happy, having, fame and having, a career that's so, she did so many great things and inspires so many people along their way. Who would have thought that she was dealing with depression? That's why you have to go beyond the smile sometimes. You have to know your place on somebody's life also, because a lot of the times you can't expect people to open up to you that you don't even have that type of relationship with them. Oh, based on assumption is the worst thing that you can, it's worse if you like, I think she's upset because I haven't seen her come out of her house, but I'm not that close, but I'm gonna assume, and I'm just gonna tell her to get out of the depression because that's not godly, right? That's the other thing. That's why in the past, I think talking about depression was extremely difficult. And I told you guys in my previous video too that there are people who answer you when you are in social need. They'll answer you with a Bible verse. But what good is that gonna do for you? You say, I've been feeling kind of low, the past couple of days, kind of, low and stuff. They're like, well, that the joy of the Lord is my strength, and some people might say, I don't know how we're gonna pay the bills this month, and people, well, God will supply all the needs according to the riches and glory, and you're like, are you serious? You're not helping anybody. If you have 5 minutes to pray with that person who say, hey, I'm struggling mentally, you like saying a Bible verse is not going to do anything, because we also have a Bible, right? You can probably share a Bible verse after you pray for them, but what good is it going to do if you have money to buy somebody's grocery for that week and they're telling you we're actually struggling? What good is it going to do to tell them that God will supply all their needs while you have money to, buy them groceries that week? You're like, people are like, you're fooling yourself, okay? It's just, it's a, you need to, like, we need to be more, right? I'm not just speaking for people. I'm speaking of things that I also need to change about myself. We need to go beyond that, right? And beyond the smiles and beyond, because people also, like, people do this to me too. Since I post a lot on social media, people think, oh, she's, oh, it's good, I saw what you posted. They'll be like, oh yeah, you were somewhere, like, I posted. It's like, so why you're watching what I post? Like, I'd rather have a conversation with you and connect with you and know more. Like, that's not a relationship if you think that we're friends because you're watching what I post on social media. And I'm talking about, obviously, about the people that I know personally. That is not a relationship when you can base what you see people post on social media as like, oh yeah, they're doing good, look, they're happy, they went somewhere and they posted photos. It could be an old photo, it could be a scheduled post, right? That doesn't mean that everything's handy dandy, right? A lot of the time social media is the stuff that people wants to post. Like, nobody's gonna post social media. Like Mandisa was saying how there were times she didn't want to open the door for nobody. She didn't want to hear anybody talk about Jesus either. So she really went to a really dark place back then. And I'm so thankful that she was able to overcome that. And like I said, with her music along the way, she was able to help so many people. Hi everybody, this is Julissa. I'm here to invite you to my podcast, Julissa Designs, and it can be found on Anchor, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. You can join me every day as I make episodes of the latest news, real life stories, and I also share my favorite Bible verse. Hope to see you then. God bless. Everybody, this is Julissa. Thank you so much for coming to my YouTube channel. Please don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. And if you want to know more about me, you can always visit www.julissadesigns.com. Have a great day, everybody. God bless.